Hello, I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and this is a 2019 Burton Paramount snowboard. This is a brand new snowboard to the line that took over for another board. Take a wild guess as we walk through the deck what board it took over for. This is categorized as a park board. It's meant to be in the park. Of course, you can ride it anywhere you want to go, but for the most part, most people who ride the Paramount are going to ride it in the parks, on jumps, on rails. It's for basically beginners to advanced level riders. Anyone can ride it. It has a little bit softer than average flex. It's a twin board, it has a centered stance, and of course it has hella pop. This has a lot of energy to it. Paramount, of course, looks really great. And it rides kind of like that classic snowboard. If you grew up riding in the 90s and you rode a camber board, this is gonna ride a lot like that. This has a camber profile shape, a nice arcing camber, pretty much the whole length of its effective edge. As you see, it rises a lot too. There's a lot of camber to it. So when you're on an edge, it holds a really firm edge. It loads up lots of pop on the nose and of course on the tail, and it's lightning fast edge to edge, which is pretty cool for being a softer style board. I put about a 4 on that feel and flex rating. Of course, it looks really cool too. It has a twin style flex. The nose and tail will feel the exact same. So when you ride it regular or switch, it should feel the same. But inside is kind of like where all the magic happens. This is a Superfly 2 wood core. It has dual zone or EGD or edge grain direction. And but surprisingly enough though, Burton doesn't advertise it as having squeeze box, but if you kind of look down the line, I think there's just a little bit of core profiling. It seems to be a little bit thinner directly underneath where your bindings rest, kind of like squeeze box. I compared this kind of to the process camber, and the process camber definitely has more kind of like predominant like squeeze box, but this one definitely has a little bit. You can almost feel it as you run your fingers across it too. Now with that wood core is a very snappy and responsive kind of fiberglass. It's Triax. We have Triax glass on top and Triax glass on bottom. It's going to have a little bit more energy. Torsionally, it's going to be quite a bit more stiff. Most people who ride the Paramount in the parks tend to be jumpers. But if you're a jibber, if you need like a lot of ollie power to get on top of like tall features, you know, having a camber profile is actually really nice. And again, with it being a little bit softer than average, it still is pliable. You know, even though you're gonna have to work a little bit more to bend the shape into a press because it's camber than you would in like pure pop or you know, like Flying V, for instance, or even flat top. But there's no really additional laminates to the Paramount. There's no, you know, carbon fiber, nothing of that sort. The base is gonna be extra fast. This is a sintered WFO base. And that's why I say, you know, another thing is it's kind of for a jumper too. It's like a fast board. So anyone who jumps needs a little bit more speed to clear over those knuckles, and the Paramount has it. There's frostbite edges. So if you're on like really firm snow, of course, those protruding edges underneath your bindings are going to help to bite down on hard pack. There's a radius style side cut. That's in the high 7s and low 8s, depending on what size you get. There's 4 different sizes of the Paramount, but for the most part, it's going to have a nice arcing turn, kind of like no matter what conditions you're in. This is a Paramount, a fun board. Again, it has loads of energy, lots of pop, but you need to be mindful when you're, whether it be just cruising around or jumping or spinning off of rails. Like if you kind of come up short, these contact points are pretty sharp. So, you know, maybe dull them down just a little bit, detune them just a touch so they don't bite, so you don't catch your edge. Rad graphic. Fun board, brand new for 2019 from Burton. It's called the Paramount. It kind of sits with 4 other boards that are very park specific from Burton, or 3 other boards. It's the Kilroy series. You have the Kilroy Process, Kilroy Custom, and then of course the name dropper. You could probably throw in, you know, the Process and the Custom kind of into it, but for the most part, this is going to be a very like park dominant style deck. Make sure to check this bad boy out by selecting the link below in the description. Let me know, what do you think of this thing? Have you guys ridden this, and if so, what do you think of it? Subscribe to the channel there. We just passed over 30,000 subscribers, so thanks for doing that. And then check out more vids there. Hopefully I'll see you guys on snow. Peace.